Hi everyone, welcome to another weekend market analysis video. Let's go over EU and DXY from the top down, see what insights we can get to use in next week's trading. So I'm going to start with EU on the weekly. I've left last week's analysis so we can just go over it. So as mentioned, you can see we've rejected this weekly ob, bearish rundown. Big bearish candle last week, taking out the previous week's low. So would there possibly be a reaction this week from doing so? We never know. It didn't close out as a rejection, so it's possible it could continue. We still have this other weekly order block here to be aware of. But we're aware now we've taken out a weekly low and we're heavily bearish still. Let's go down to the daily. So we're quite deep now into the discount of this daily leg and this daily ob, right? We've taken out previous weekly low and previous daily low. We didn't seem to have much of a bullish reaction from that, and it's a thick bearish engulfing candle there. So we'll go down to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we're still closing within this massive 4 hour imbalance which we had, but we've also spiked into the 4 hour ob area. So we're pretty much at the extreme now of the areas we was looking at. I would call this probably the entire 4 hour leg. This whole leg here, from where we swept liquidity and broke down. I won't draw the fib tool here. I'm just going to concentrate on the 1 hour leg going into next week for now. So on the 1 hour, you can see we've got this nice new leg here, sweep of liquidity, breakdown, and now towards the end on Friday it just went sideways. And if we go down to the 15 minute, you can see it's built liquidity up on both sides. So we've got liquidity here. And here. Once we get onto the DXY, you can see how the two are obviously inverse, and it may give us a bit more of a signal on direction. However, at the moment, you can see it could go either way. It'll be interesting to see what Asia does, and we can see where it takes liquidity and which direction it goes, because at the moment it could take the liquidity above here and break down further, or take this liquidity here and we could get a small bullish reaction up into the premium before we continue down. Going back to the hourly, within the premium you can see here we've got fair value gaps and order blocks. So we've got this one here. And there's another above just here also. It's not something that you would trade from immediately, but areas to keep an eye on within premium where sell or shorts are obviously more high probability. So we keep a close eye coming into Asia or after Asia, depending on which session you trade. I'm gonna look out for what's happened overnight, what side of liquidity is going to take. Overall, we're still bearish heavily, right? We've got no reason. We're coming into major POIs, but we've taken out previous weekly lows, previous day lows, day after day after day, and at the end of the day it's still finishing with new lower lows. So I have no reason to take longs as a higher probability over shorts at the moment. So I'll still be looking for those shorts if we get back into this premium area here. And we'll see how it's going to react to these OBS. So let's go into DXY. DXY, even from the weekly, is very similar, of course, to EU due to the inversion. We took out previous low here. We've been bullish ever since. We're in a weekly OB here. We've taken out the previous weekly high. No signs of it slowing down just yet. We're deep into this daily premium order block over here, taking out the previous daily high and closed out with this massive bullish engulfing for the Friday. You can see I've got a 4-hour order block marked out here, so we're watching to see how this reacts here, which of course matches EU, and if we see DXY respecting, we should see EU respecting, and they'll inversely follow each other. So if this starts to reverse and go short, we're going to see DXY go long and move back up into the premium. We're going to expect probably a pullback at this stage, right? It doesn't have to happen, but it can. We've got this 1-hour leg here, and you can see the same things happening on DXY, where we're building liquidity on both sides here. What we may expect or see is the previous daily high, which would be the previous weekly high also. Once we move those annotations, it could take the buy side liquidity up here. What we could see is a buy side liquidity sweep up here, break down and come for all of this sell side liquidity back down into a discount of the 1-hour leg before any move up again. What we can expect on EU would be similar. We'd see the sell side swept before that break of structure on the lower time frames, and it's making its way back up into the premium legs here for the POIs that I've drawn out here, where I'd probably be looking to get short. I'll see you again tomorrow with a post-trading day analysis as usual.